Lisbon, once an underrated European city, is quickly earning its place on the world tourism map, and this video will tell you exactly why. It's a place that has a lot to see and do. It's just as action-packed and interesting as other cities, but it also manages to have a relaxing atmosphere and warm, friendly locals. It feels a lot less hectic than cities like London, Paris, and Barcelona. After spending 1 week in Lisbon, we've assembled recommendations on the top things to see and do. Our video includes all the top sites, but also some excellent day trips and lesser known attractions. From the historic city centre streets to the fairy tale castles of Sintra and the beaches of Cascais, you'll find plenty of inspiration for an upcoming trip. Join us as we eat way too many Pastéis de Nata, have a fair share of €1 espressos, and take you on a tour of Portugal's capital city. Baixa de Lisboa is Lisbon's main city centre district and tourist hub. Featuring distinct rows of high-rise buildings, the area was completely rebuilt after the infamous 1755 earthquake. As such, it looks very different to the rest of the city. It has vibrant squares, shopping streets and corner cafes, and is one of the best places in Lisbon to dine outside. Wander the straight streets of Baixa district on your first morning in Lisbon and take in the sights. Hop into Santa Justa lift for panoramic views of the city, people watch in Dom Pedro IV Square, or walk down the busiest street in Lisbon, Augusta Avenue.
At the bottom of Augusta Avenue, you'll find a towering arch. Built in the 18th century, Arco da Rua Augusta is a memorial monument with a series of ornate carvings, statues and stone columns. Praça do Comércio is the main square you'll reach when you walk under the arch. It faces the seafront and is often host to parades, pop-up events and ceremonies. Learn about the history of the square by joining a walking tour, or simply wander all four corners and admire the colourful buildings and statues that surround it.
Next on our list is the charming Alfama district. Located on the hillside right next to the city centre, Alfama is a collection of winding, cobblestone streets, old buildings, viewpoints, churches and terracotta-roofed houses. It's the birthplace of the city's famous fado music. Walk up the hill to Alfama or catch the popular 28 tram route if you want to save your legs. Top things to see here include Lisbon Cathedral, the National Pantheon building, and a series of old churches and buildings. There are also some excellent viewpoints of the Tagus River, cruise port and stacked buildings of Alfama.
We can't go any further in our video without introducing you to Lisbon's signature bakery treat, the Pastel de Nata. Famous worldwide, this light crispy pastry is filled with delicious vanilla custard and topped with cinnamon. Lisbon is the birthplace of the treat, so you want to try as many as you can during your visit. Order a takeaway coffee and a pastel for a couple of euros and take a break from sightseeing.
Looking for more excellent views of Lisbon? Head to the hilltop castle of São Jorge for an insight into the castle's rich history and some unique vantage points of the city centre below. Built in the 11th century, this Moorish castle and royal residence has several ruins, terraces and a museum. You can also explore the many castle walls and turrets. We've been to a lot of castles and São Jorge stands out as one of our favourites.
Not exactly in Lisbon, but a must-see during your visit, Cascais makes an excellent day trip for those that want to escape the city for the day, and it takes only 40 minutes to get there by train. Cascais is a complete contrast to life in Lisbon, feeling much more like a beach resort in Portugal's Algarve region. It has several sandy beaches, a large marina, and some excellent bars, shops and restaurants. Relax on one of its sandy shores on a hot day, browse the shops and cafes of the old town, or take a scenic walk along the promenade. The town has a lot to offer, including historic squares, a grand fortress, and a recently renovated marina. Beach lover or not, we highly recommend planning a day trip to Cascais if you're staying in Lisbon 4 days or longer.
Two of Lisbon's iconic structures are April the 25th Suspension Bridge, which is partly based on San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge. There's also the iconic Christ the King statue. You can see both sites from almost anywhere in the city, but to truly experience their beauty, you'll need to get up close. Take a taxi across the bridge or cross the river by ferry and walk 40 minutes to the base of Christ the King. The viewpoint is free to access, or you can pay a small fee to climb to the top of the statue.
Next on our list is a relatively new Lisbon attraction, LX Factory. A modern art project, it's a series of old warehouses and factories that have been transformed into boutique shops, cafes, restaurants and bars. It also has countless art murals and exhibits. Spend a couple of hours exploring LX Factory and end your visit with a trip to the rooftop bar. It provides more stunning views of the neighbouring bridge and river.
Probably Lisbon's most famous site, Belem Tower is a 16th century fortress that was built by the seashore. It features a classic Portuguese Renaissance style, along with other architectural styles, including Moorish minaret turrets. See the beauty of the tower from the outside, or head inside for a small fee. Walk along the promenade from Belem Tower and you'll reach the monument to the discoveries. See the detail of the Portuguese explorer statue from the outside and climb to the top of the monument for views of the bridge. The next stop in Belem is the architecturally impressive Jeronimos Monastery. Once a monastery of the Order of St. Jerome, the building is now a preserved museum. It's one of the best examples of Portuguese Gothic design in Lisbon, and is an intriguing place to explore for a few hours. The neatly manicured gardens and exterior are free to visit, but to venture inside, you'll need to book tickets and reserve a time slot in advance. Our final recommendation for the Belem area is the world-famous bakery Pastéis de Belém. It's regarded as being the birthplace of the Pastel de Nata. You can't leave without trying one of these tasty treats.
Sintra is the second day trip recommendation in our video. It's the countryside region to the northwest of Lisbon, famous for its vast forests, fairy tale-like castles and nature. It takes 40 minutes to get there from Lisbon city centre. The National Palace of Pena is the number one attraction in Sintra. It's the fairy tale-like castle you probably noticed from postcards and Instagram posts. It sits on top of a hill and is surrounded by the dense forests of the national park. From the outside, you'll see colourful turrets, a grand drawbridge and fortified walls. Inside, the castle boasts grand hallways and preserved 12th century rooms. To beat the queues, we recommend booking tickets online at least 2 days before you plan on visiting. Your ticket to the palace entitles you to access the second attraction in the area, the Palace Gardens. Often missed by those who head straight to the castle, the gardens are well worth visiting. They're full of unique sights including castle viewpoints, monuments, woodland trails, and even a colourful chateau. The garden area is huge, so we recommend choosing a shorter trail and allocating at least an hour or two to see the national park. The hilltop Moorish castle was our favourite attraction in Sintra. Often missed off itineraries in shadow of Pena Palace, the castle is a medieval fortress that has been built on the peak of a hilltop. Created by the Moors in the 10th century, the castle provides stunning scenery and walls that seem to snake along the hilltop. You can walk up to the castle from the main entrance of Pena Palace. You'll need to buy your ticket separately, but they're both well worth a visit. Pena Palace, the Palace Gardens and the Moorish Castle can all be seen in a self-guided day trip from Lisbon.
Lisbon's Riverside Promenade is a perfect place to go for a scenic walk at any time of the day. It has several viewpoints, plenty of relaxation areas with free-to-use lounges, and some excellent seafront bars. It even has several beaches, which can be seen only when the tide is out. It's a perfect place for a sunset drink. Walk up the Riverside Promenade far enough and you'll reach Lisbon's cruise port. If you're interested in seeing these giant ships, you'll be pleased to know there's a cruise in port almost every day of the week. See a ship up close during the day, or return in the evening to see it depart under Lisbon's April 25th bridge.
Next on our list is the historic Carmo Convent. The monastery was founded in 1389 and was damaged by the infamous 1755 Lisbon earthquake. It was then repaired and damaged by another earthquake in 1969. Today the convent stands as an open-air archaeological museum. The roof of the structure has been destroyed, leaving exposed columns that give it a rugged ruins appearance. Visit the museum during the day to see and learn about the former convent, or book tickets for the evening light show, which features projections on the walls of the ruins and an open view of the night sky.
Want to sample some good food, snacks and drinks? Head to Timeout Market to experience many pop-up food stands all in one place. Timeout Market has featured in many travel brochures and online guides, and while some dishes can be expensive for what you get, the market has a great atmosphere and some creative dishes. It's a great place to visit for lunch or a mid-afternoon snack.
One of our favourite places to stay in Lisbon is the trendy Graça district. It's also a nice place to visit. Its streets are full of art murals, cool cafes, markets and unique architecture. It's colourful, quaint and scenic. Graça is a great place to grab lunch or a coffee on a morning walk. Be sure to check out Graça's panoramic viewpoints. Miradouro da Graça and Miradouro da Senhora do Monte give you excellent views of the city centre below and the castle of São Jorge on the hillside.
Take a stroll down Lisbon's high-end shopping street to see some grand 19th century architecture, a market and lots of designer shopping stores. Avenida da Liberdade is where you'll see 5-star hotels, Gucci and Louis Vuitton stores and sports cars. It's an excellent place for a morning walk. At At the top of the street, you'll find the Grand Marquis of Pombal monument and Eduardo VII Park. It's one of the most pristinely maintained areas of the city, featuring nice views of the boulevard from the top of the hill. You'll also get some nice views of planes landing in Lisbon Airport.
Inside Eduardo VII Park is a hidden botanical garden named Estufa Fria. Unknown to many tourists, we stumbled upon the garden whilst walking around the park and were amazed at what we found. For an entrance fee of less than €4 per person, you can explore the many greenhouses and gardens of Estufa Fria. The place is vast, with rows of tropical trees, flowers and plants, a lake area and scenic walkways. It was a highlight of our visit, providing excellent value for money.
Our final recommendation is the lively neighbourhood of Bairro Alto. It's a go-to place for eating out and nightlife, with countless wine bars, dance bars and pub crawls. It also has nightlife scenes to suit everyone. Enjoy a glass of port in a quiet wine bar or join a lively pub crawl. Walk 10 minutes from Bairro Alto and you'll reach a nightlife hotspot called Pink Street. Bars here are lively, loud and upbeat, suiting anyone that wants to party until the early hours. Thanks for watching our video on the top things to do in Lisbon. We hope we inspired you with plenty of attraction ideas. If you liked the video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more travel ideas. Be sure to check out our other videos for Porto, Madeira and the Algarve if you're visiting other areas of Portugal. Thanks for watching.